Hello and welcome traders at this new Bitcoin technical, orderflow, macro fundamentals and on-chain analysis video. It's going to be another complex video so you can learn a lot how you can predict markets, because 90% of time what I was saying in the last video played out to the everything, because last week I was pretty bearish on Bitcoin, so I definitely recommend watching that video. All these bullet points and all these pressure points were pressuring Bitcoin down from 115k down to 109k. Everything played out here, but right now it's 2 a.m. here. We have new quarter starting, which means new opportunities. This is the strongest and most volatile part of the year, so let's get ready. We will build very strong plan from all these things. I want to go over higher time frame analysis as well. I'll be showing you some few macro fundamentals which will be affecting Bitcoin for the rest of the month and year, and I also show you higher time frame tools I'm using to analyzing Bitcoin. So it's going to be very, very complex, but we will be starting first with the sections I prepared. First we will go over Friday trading, and then Monday and Tuesday, and then what we can expect next. So let's start now. So here, when I was doing the last video, with our traders, most of the time we spend in this nice range, like few days. So we are just trading the range. And I said very clearly to our traders, when we lose 111k, we will open road down to 109k. The reasoning was very simple. Based on the structure on the chart, we have multiple higher lows here, and this is building curved liquidity, which means if we start breaching this low here, and also this one, because remember, people are distributing volumes here and also in the area. Everybody who is long will be getting stopped out and liquidated into each other stop losses, right? So you will just drop down heavily into the next line of support, which was coming from this last distribution range before you come to the main lows. So for very obvious target to the 109k, and that's now how we will be starting the Friday, because we went for that target very easily. Let's go. And you see, I'm doing like, this is probably the most, let's see here, I will be showing you how I'm doing these daily plans and analysis, because I think many of our traders consider this very valuable, because if I give plan what I'm looking for the day, I would say 70-80% is playing out as I expect. So there are some nice predictions. This is one of the big values of our trading group. You don't watch what doesn't matter, because 90% of things, it doesn't matter, it's just noise. You need to watch what matters for that current day, and that's what I'm doing here. So you see, we are trading the range. You see what happened here. We've lost the high volume node and point of control, which was giving us this beautiful long. It was very, very beautiful long, and then we lost it. Yeah, so market traded the region, moved down, and you can see we also lost 2 weeks as well. Yeah, so market went where? It started going outside of this range, building and seeking new value elsewhere. And where was the last support before you come to lows? Of course, the point of control of this smaller range here. This held to the dollar. This was also exhaustive drop, so this was your first initial chance to go long, but you had one other chance to come into longs from the lows, because then I was making very strong case. We are bottoming out, like we are going into range at least, like for sure almost, and then we potentially get relief bounce. And I will be showing you those metrics. That's why I'm showing you the Friday. It's so crucial how I was thinking about this. Also, 108k was area of interest for me. We never got it. It's okay, sometimes we don't. When you are in positions, you always seek to fill the most immediate inefficiency in the market, which was over here. This is how the upside started actually. So this was very crucial to get acceptance into this. Look at the liquidity. So moving down here, that's the liquidity I was showing you, the curved liquidity from multiple lows, also from higher range. This was another pain point. That's why you also see the stability during Friday. You see there is still very large liquidity at 107k in the future, so be aware of that. But for now we just bounced very largely. Also equities were staging recovery, so Bitcoin was getting held out of that 109k region. But there will be much stronger important facts why we were bouncing here. Look at the power of the TRDR now, yeah? It's a core of my trading strategy. Having TRDR is literally getting me into retirement. Our super strong templates where we spend 600 hours for backtesting are paying, us. So look at that. So we start to get into very juicy spot market thresholds on the buy side. But notice Perb's market still suppressing price with heavy sell side limits. I would like to see change there when they start flipping into buy limits and align with spot market. Then we will have proper stability in market and day trade will become swing. But we already, if you notice, right now the order book ratio changed to very positive side. Hundreds of millions are now stabilizing price, same as at the, when was that? At the beginning of the September, we had very similar stability. Only perpetuals were trying to pressure market down, but you know why? You know why? Because we had the option expiry. If you remember that from the last video, I said very clearly. Now I can show you that on chart. When we go here, we go to 50-minute time frame. I had very big call. The Bitcoin will very likely see upside after option expiry. I can show you that on Deribit as well. So you will see how the option was traded there also on the volume. So we go to BTC and Deribit perpetual. Here you are. We need to go to the lower regions. Loading a bit slow, but it's okay. We will just let it load. I think you will see it as well here. So spot markets very bullish. I mean, not very super, the thresholds are actually higher than when we were at closer to 107k. So this is very decently bullish, at least giving you range or potentially upside bounce. Just these perpetuals are pressuring because of that option barrier. I'm also giving very clean call. We need to reclaim 111 800s. Yes, this downside move. Why this was very crucial to reclaim? Because when you come here, you will trap everybody shorting in the impulse to the downside, and we've reached 2 billion negative delta. Yeah, so you have plenty of people short here. Trap them, make them support, and bounce higher. This is very typical fractal happening on Bitcoin. Many times in the past, you better backtest this with this TRDR template. It's gonna make your life way easier. And you see why we are seeing also stability. Market was hunting down everybody in the longs for the past month. Look at the liquidations, extremely exhaustive, 120 million. This was record liquidations just on Bitcoin. So again, another reason market might hurt most of the market participants. We will find stability, potentially bounce. So you see how we are building this core confluence. Yes. Here is even better. You can see it better. All these order book supports. Yes, spot market is shiny, is very heavy thresholds supporting us. Just perpetuals needs to cooperate. Another thing, this is another template. We've had also open interest, aggregation, RSI, oversold. Yeah, this is how I set my template on 4-hour time frame. This is more for swing traders. Each time we've actually reached below 30 or 20 region, we found bottom at least. Yeah, so this is super 80% win rate alone on this. So this is additional confluence. Plus again, spot market was heavily buying here, like below us. You would need very heavy volumes to continue lower. So you see here how they are, bidding, stabilizing market. Oftentimes market doesn't even go into the main walls. They just gonna range above them as a support. Here is better visibility. Yeah, look at that support. It's very, as we are declining, we are not even seeing such support. So right now you see exactly why we had the big bands. Yeah, this is the visual representation of those TRDR bands shown in the walls. So spot market just wanted to buy the dip and market was just very nicely stable. I'm also showing a future scenario. If we lose 107k lows, I will be looking for next trade right here at the swing failure pattern out of this low. We are right now at 115k, so it's not activated, but in the future you can save up this and it's still valid no matter when we reach this. If it's in 1 week to 2 months, I'm still gonna be looking for nice trade like I've shown here there. Yes, and from higher time frames you are entering into the last consolidation from the bullish retest. By the way, look at the power of the AMT. Yes, this range, this was such a nice swing trade. That's how you are doing the swing trades, because most of the time when you look for swing longs, you want previous range which has like 1 to 3 months of volume or even more. You want to hold the box where you have point of control and VAC. This is bullish retest box. Lose the box and you will be very likely rotating the full range. So invalidation for such trades is pretty simple. Yeah, you can have a pretty tight stop loss, ideally hidden behind order books. So again, we entered into this box. Even if it was traded, it's still we haven't lost this low. Yeah, so this low would be much bearish for the price and for deeper pullback. So we were trading it more intraday. Out of that trade, we've got the, you know, that push to the upside. What was the, so 26, I just want to check if I'm going, yes, this is Friday. And that option expiry, I would like to find you the post. First, let me show you in the chart. So here we are, 26th of Friday, here, somewhere here. So we had the biggest option expiry ever in Bitcoin happening somewhere 26. This is Friday, so we need to go somewhere here. So from this point, Bitcoin can breathe again more easily. Option, maybe I'll find you that option again, because if you didn't watch the previous video, it's good for you to see that. Deribit, let me check. Here, yeah, it was that very small sentence was here. I missed it, you know, when I was just scrolling down. If we see really push today, you know, big option expiry to give a lead from the Bitcoin. And lower. Yes, it was a bit older post. Here it is. Yeah, so 17 billion option expiry, and max pain was what 110k. So many option dealers and market makers were their incentive was to push Bitcoin below 110k before the option expires, and that was the 26th of September on the Friday. And once, that was my thinking, once this option is going off, most of the people who are betting on longs with these blue, you know, spikes are getting wrecked. Then yes, you will have a upside. We often, this is not I'm not telling you just randomly this. Since 2021 we had 30 situations like this when massive option expiry ended, and we've seen the opposite move, which was like the protection of the option barrier ended. Yeah, so your market can trade more freely. This is very serious volume, like so much money is involved here. So there is, the closer you get to option, the more it matters. I will be showing you the option like for the October at the, you know, in the second part of the video, because we have two big more options coming in this year where you need to pay attention to them. Okay. So the bottoming for the let's go down if there is anything else I want to show you. But there was then live trading. I was taking profit one here already in the trade. You see, by the way, this was exactly before option was ending, the timing here. Look how they were trying to pressure the price here, so they get they get price below 109k. Like thousands of bitcoins were selling price. Once the option ended, look at the upside, move to the upside. And now that's why I want to show you now the deribit. It's ideally, do I need 5 minutes? Maybe I can show you on 5 minutes. I wanted to show you on smaller time frame, it was better visible, but never mind. 5-minute time frame. 26. So here we are. Yeah. Here is the option expiry time. Look at the volumes on deribit. Yeah, open interest was going down here, massive profit taking. So the final move to the downside, like we can say one of the final moves of this range was coming just from deribit, and then we got the bounce back. So I was also longing here like for scalp as well. But overall I was I was long from this low, and I was adding when were doing very tight swing value pattern on some exchanges. So very nice long exposure, and the rest is history. Massive move to the upside. Yeah. So this was Friday. We positioned into very nice longs during Friday. Now I want to move on Monday, because very heavy predictions were done on Monday and most of them played out. This is now, again, this is extremely valuable information you very likely don't get anywhere else. If you like what I'm showing you, just please give it a like and subscribe, and help this channel grow so more people can learn for free this, yeah? Because again, this is much better education than most of the paid content in the world. That's how it is. So let me just do this. So Friday, let's go. So Friday played out, and now we will focus on Monday. And we will be starting right with the CME open. Yeah. Let me show you. 26, this is 28, this is I'm also taking nice profits, very partial profits on the long I was building in this range. I'm always paying myself. This is like very important in trading, even when you have higher targets. Look at those bands. Yeah, by the way, do you see the change of character? At the beginning of the video I was telling you I want to see perpetual markets getting removed. Yeah, these sell walls were mainly to push and suppress price lower for better option barrier fill. These got removed, we've got neutral, and right now before the pump, look at the increase on the order books for perpetual markets. We've seen many buy limit orders added in the order books here. So before, as soon as you started going and leaving local range, you've got the help from perpetuals as well. They are pretty important to force price, not only spot market. So every spot market and perpetual markets, both of them align for the upside, and these bands are playing out yet again with high win rate. So it was absolutely not a surprise we see upside. You see what I'm showing you? We don't guess if you hold some Fibonacci, we don't guess if you react from order block, we don't guess if you hold some retail trend line. No. This is all heavy data driven decisions. And this is actually the push to the upside was coming from CME as well, because you remember we don't like CME is not trading over the weekend, so we are gapping to the upside. Look what happened. Everybody who was trading during Thursday and Friday on CME is now getting stopped out, and margin calls are coming. And there, the short span is actually driving us to the upside. This is also bullish open of the CME gap. How I'm seeing is bullish because we don't have any wick to the upside. So I'm seeing the market is not even trying to fill even like 5% of the gap. Nothing. Immediate pump to the upside. And the candle like continuous strength to the upside with new green candles pushing up. We have zero acceptance into the cap area. Yeah, no acceptance for like 30 minutes at least. Then you would be feeling partially or fully bullish open. You never try to fade away such open. Yeah, remember the gaps, how they're trading, they are crucial. So let's go for the Monday analysis, because that Monday analysis played out perfectly into the Tuesday and today. And only then I can show you what I expect from Bitcoin next. So you see how is everything interconnected, right? And I will be now combining my post with the trading view, where I can show you a bit better what I'm seeing. So right now this is crucial post from market structure. Let's go into my main folders. Here needs to be on Bybit. Yep, market structures. So the pullback range, yes, before the upside was happening at a very critical region. This is market structure area. This is very old market structure area coming from these three highs together, but you can also see it's old high for the Bitcoin. So high time frame traders are still watching how we are retesting these regions. Yeah, this was just deviation. We spent very little time above, below. But this area, like this box, is crucial for you, because you don't want to get below these highs, but you also don't want to get below this like box as well. So very crucial retest. While you hold about this area, market is still looking pretty good, and it can actually build new value and range above 110k. So from market structure perspective, it was like really good range why we hold there. Now another thing, yeah, look at the pump already. We are leaving not much support, but it's still very impulsive. One of the key reasons we've seen such a big push to the upside is we've left the local range. I was also adding to my positions when this was happening. So you left the local range. That's the first sign distribution is ending. You are looking for impulse and new trend potentially. You've got acceptance into the 2 weeks range. Even when you traded this range already with this move down, there is still potential to look for this rotation again, because we've spent 2 weeks here and we've spent only very few days here. So this range still has importance for the market. So full rotation, like partial rotation happening, people are adding on positions on this high, like failed with swing failure pattern. The reclaim of the value is one of the first positive signs for Bitcoin. look at my in-depth explanations of the market as well. This is coming now from high time frame, from high volume nodes. Each high volume node, that's why when I turn on now this and we go to daily time frame, each naked high volume node was giving us at least decent day trades. Same like here, same like here. This got front run, it was more cheeky. Now future resistance is waiting for us here, and even here this is precise point of control retest, but it was start of the high volume node. So you can notice in this post you look at market not just from precise point of controls, but always as high volume nodes, because Bitcoin is very volatile and needs to breathe. Yeah, and it needs breathing, and you will use the high volume node as a like zone of confluence for your trades. So that was really cool. And this is a very crucial scenario for high time frame, medium time frame, to combine with a bit higher time frame as well. So you see this time again we've rejected acceptance into the 2-month range, and again people from higher time frames were adding to their trades on the reclaim of 110k region, which is 2-month VAR of that previous range. Now this is our primary range we are watching. Let me show you that range here. I still have the text, so it's better to be explained. Yeah, look at that. Also the prediction was happening to the dollar so far. Probably I need to just add this pull here. See it maybe in high volume node. Yeah, it was there. Like this. So you see the reclaim here again. That's what you want to see when you are building long form local range, and we had nice confluence for it. This is the main range for us. Why this is main range? Because the price is just, this is how we are trading. Yes, here for the past, like all September. Yes, another rotation. This is what we are doing. So this is the main range. You can then merge range with others, of course. And for me, I was already watching, like we've got a very small reaction from point of control, but there was no heavy rejection. So once you reclaim that high volume node, yes, this is what I said, like in this post, you can literally pause the video and read it. But I said very clearly, if we manage to run the high volume node fully and we start ranging above it and make the high volume node support, this is exactly that blue line here. Yeah, you see. And we've got the retest. It literally matched what I was predicting. Then we potentially are aiming for 100,500, 115, 400s, where we can complete the whole structure, and we have like double AMT confluence here. So this is the area I'm looking for as a target. Right now I'm trading this range. I already had another short, already took profit. Like 2 shorts already were done in this range. During longs I was missing, but this is another area you watch for your targets. It's just ready for you, 6 weeks val. And how long is this range? 20 of August. This is 5 weeks VAR here waiting. This is nice box where we might potentially see, if we see another range here, definitely we'll be looking to position for another short out of it. So for AMT it was very, very simple and clean, and ultimately we also held the anchor Yvwap from this is from 75k lows, so it's even including the pump where Bitcoin is pushing to the upside on the Trump. And of course, to the upside, you need to reclaim the downtrend anchor Yvwap. So this was done, and we are pushing to the upside. So I think spot buyers were buying here, same like last time. Yeah, so we always pay attention to these crucial anchor Yvwaps. And we were not losing the very short-term anchor Yvwaps as well. So they were telling us the uptrend is strong. In the future, we will be looking to take that liquidity. That's just simple. And now this is very fun post. I think you can pause it as well and read it, but I will be explaining it anyway on TRDR. So let's go into that template. We will go here. So I'm using this template in conjunction with my template for impulse liquidity here. So this is basically the folder is measuring where we have the most impulsive move in the market and where is the liquidity of that impulse. It means when people in the impulse are getting trapped and they are getting invalidated and their liquidity is getting taken. This is what is this folder for, and I'm using it in conjunction with this TRDR template, the custom template we built, where we watch, like this is for swing like very crucial confluence for swing trades. Always watch when we have the large aggregated delta pushes to the upside or to the downside. You see these two moves to the downside were very exhaustive, right? This one reached minus 2.5 billion, yeah, in overall, like this is aggregated delta, so on the all exchanges in the world. Remember the big traders, this is still small market in terms of volume, and the big traders cannot fulfill position easily, so they need to create liquidity and they need to place lots of orders where many people will be stopped out and liquidated and forcefully selling into their limit orders. So they are waiting for formations like this. They filled massive orders here, and then we started ranging and then we are pushing to the upside. And people always think who is behind the candles. Remember, if it was you, maybe in the past you were trading the breakdowns, yeah, which is very dangerous. But remember, if it's just you expect Bitcoin to drop to 100k, so you are shorting here, 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 whatever in these regions, yeah. Once this happens, and all these shorts, and it's again over 2 billion of aggregated delta, move to the downside. Once market moves over them, but like 100% of people are now trapped in the positions. They just messed up. And the most bullish thing you can do, and this is again fractal, is to push over them, yeah, squeeze them, and then make them support. What we did here, yeah. You don't let them escape again, so you will not do this. This would be actually pretty bearish, because this was weekend trading, so you would very likely grab the liquidity. This also build no support. So the most bullish scenario, and I told our traders, I will be sleeping well on my longs if I'm seeing this red line holding. Yeah, I have zero weakness in the market if this is holding. And you see what happened next. Next is the history. We've got very large short liquidations, because again, even if you have some stop losses here from these people shorting, they might even have invalidation a bit higher outside of the general notes. Now we are seeing large, like the initial, we already see some people getting stopped or liquidated on this volume, but there was another wave with more wider stop losses. Yes, people were again getting destroyed here. So look at there, this is a very simple principle you can use when you are planning day trade, and this you want day trade to become swing trade. You definitely want to use these templates. And you see what happened right here. Again, this was an even larger crash, almost 3 billion, right? So what we are doing right now, we can do another line here. Another line on the sell side over here. And right now, these people who shorted here are defending their impulse. This is also swing failure pattern of that low. So there is some defense. But if I expect actually when we come to this high again, like to these highs again, there will be another impulse to the upside with really good volumes. But meanwhile, even when I expect that, I was shorting here and I was shorting here at the highs again. So you can meanwhile trade the local range. You don't have to be like frozen and wait for this, yeah. You just have to have good stop loss, because you will know another impulse sell side will be trapped if you go over the region. So yeah, I hope this is useful. This was perfect prediction and it literally, thanks to this, if you were not taking early profit, you doubled the move to the upside with the help of the fuel we've got here. Everything is about fuel in the end, and it's about how the big market participants can fill their orders. If you backtest the big pushes on the aggregated delta, this is why we use TRDR so much. We can build statistics what we can expect from market out of such fills. And I definitely, like I said, Bitcoin has like more pain to the upside, especially when you come into the, like I was expecting, as we are pushing to the upside, we trapped like the most aggressive shorts at the lows, but not full impulse. So the main pain point will be higher. Yeah, that's what we were targeting. And look at that, like first push to the upside. These were the most aggressive shorts here. Now they are getting destroyed, and then we got another push to the upside. Coinbase was front running, by the way, the move to the upside, but it's just okay. This is our swing template. This is carefully crafted for swing traders. Yeah, and you know what to do when you see such a shiny object you're building longs, and rest is history. Yeah, same like here. And the oversold condition, yeah, on the open interest RSI, which is really good metric. I hate to use normal RSI, but on open interest is fantastic because it's telling you when most people are just getting destroyed in the market. Same like here, we've seen some sub-stability, same like here. Oversold condition, we were in local range, then we've got the big bounce. Here, very oversold conditions, bounce. So not a surprise we see it move to the upside, right? I think we have now too many good tools. Like I want to like drop some things which are like not even important, but our system currently is just crazy. Crazy predictions can be made every single day and be on the right side of the market. If you are just getting on the wrong position all the time, then you need to use TRDR Exocharts. You need to use our whole strategy and change your life. Just recently another member joined. He said he was in 20 groups, and in 3 months he actually first time in his life become profitable. He from losing trader he went into slightly profitable trader. There's like massive change. When you stop bleeding money, it's like a huge change for your life already, and then you can build that consistency, same like we do here. By the way, equities are pushing up, so Bitcoin was utilizing move to the upside from that moment. Let me check what else. Here I was sleeping because my sleep routine is not ideal. I'm not trading New York session as much. Yeah, I was waking up here. You can see now we are reaching the impulse liquidity. Yeah, it was taking, market was taking it. This is also another target. You see spot is now selling, so you go into distribution. This is also continuation candle. I don't want to like explain every single pose in the group. This is why the group exists. Just want to show you. Yes, there were a lot of poses. Now Bram was taking care. On Tuesday I was not active. I needed to resolve some matters in real life. So Bram was covering the group, and I can show you what I was trading just when I woke up. One more trade. So I woke up into the pullback. Yeah, I was already short here. I already took some nice profits during last stage. I was giving live short, and today I was also giving another live short. Notice when the market was ranging during London and New York session, we were just going sideways, but then we started to build a bullish CVD on spot market. Yeah, market is going sideways. It undercut the lows, but that was everything, and we started going up. And again, the most bullish thing you can do is to do bullish CVD even during uptrend. That's very strong sign. You will very likely rotate full range. People who were shorting down here, they are buying back. So pretty much this was short squeeze combined with this bull spot CVD playing up, and into the close we've got, this is Tuesday, yeah, end of the Tuesday, like very few hours back, and we are seeing open interest, equities are pushing, so it's helping market. But when we come to the highs, I was adding to my short today because I'm seeing profit taking starts coming in from late longs. Many people were actually longing very close to the range highs. So they started closing, and I was just adding to already existing position. Ultimately, where Bitcoin is right now, we are just filling volume in the lower volume nodes here, because you see we are missing volumes in 112k up to 115,000. So it's not a problem for Bitcoin to range here for longer. When I was adding to my short, or you took new short, you pretty much need to lose 114k because these late longs were coming in here. And when you do that, these people will be then selling positions into the Yvwap. That was my whole premise for that trade. And since the top, we stopped buying on spot market and we stopped buying on perpetuals. And as you have such a big delta from perpetuals, there is higher risk you will give back some of those delta gains. All those longs who were leading the local move will be now closing positions and moving market downside to the downside. Equities were also helping, and I said I took profit very close to the daily Yvwap what I was adding to the market. Most of the group is now sleeping anyway. We have only not that many people trading late Asia. Most of the people we teach to trade New York session mainly and London. So right now we are at the blank canvas, and I can go for the analysis of Bitcoin for the future. Maybe I will be starting with all those tabs I prepared here. we can do, maybe we can start with technical analysis. So let's go technical analysis first, and then we will go over the macro and on-chain. One thing I want to warn you about, because I'm watching a lot of macro fundamental analysts, and they say we might see, like I'm only watching a few of them, and these with highest track records as Fundstrat, yeah. And their premise is we will see moving our markets up next 2-3 weeks, and then we will get 5 to 10% pullback on equities, which means if Bitcoin loses in such pullback, if equities really go for deeper pullback, because right now when we go to charts, I think ES1 is very close to all-time highs, and SPX is also, look at that, they're also already close to the all-time highs. If we see actually pullback for 5 to 10%, yeah, look at the downside at the end of the October into the November, and then we will see another push to the upside at the end of the year. That will definitely, I would say, Bitcoin can be then taken down below 107,000, yeah, in this level. And if that happens, you will complete the fractal from all-time high swing failure pattern. That's why I have this folder on very top, because it's still waiting to be played out. Doesn't have to, but again, if we get larger decline on equities, I'm watching for that. It was already like in the past we had 17% move to the downside from all-time high swing failure pattern move, and this time we've had 13%. So again, when I was shorting here, I immediately had expectations to be day trade, to this trade to be day trade and swing. We've got almost completely fully, but again we used previous range as a support. So again, lose that, and I think we will very likely go for this threshold and 193k, where we have like very close option barrier support. So that's one thing you need to watch. Summer range, this was the main summer range. We still are rejecting entries into it. From market structure perspective, now we've seen this was resistance in the past for a long time. So next line of resistance I'm watching in this region, definitely what I will be watching for in the future is to move above this high, give us failed auction or swing failure pattern, and then create new range here. So traders fill position, and then out of that range we got resolution to the downside or to the upside, but preferably to the downside. So this market structure will be working really well. Next one you watch is here, around 120k. And again, I explained you earlier in the video, I don't want to see this area lost. Again, if this box is lost, we will go for the retest of these lows. We then will be doing swing failure pattern from here after liquidity grab, or we will do breakdown. And if we do breakdown, it's going to be larger breakdown, because we will be rotating the larger range. Yes. Impulse liquidity is looking now like this. So this one was taken already. Yeah, but I will be deleting it. But we now have another impulse. This was very impulsive move to the upside, so there will be more liquidity even below, which will be going into this liquidity. You see the liquidity below 107k. We never take it properly. So on any sign of weakness, stronger weakness in equities, the main target for Bitcoin will be grabbing this area and further, possibly into this low. We have inefficiency here, so we will see if we feel inefficiency or get swing failure pattern. But my view is we will do future swing failure pattern there. So this was taken. You see this was also taken. Is it not perfect? The market is perfect. Always hunting for the liquidity. What we are doing from a local perspective right now, I need to pull new range here. Local one. This one got rotated. Look at the bullish retest, yeah, how Bitcoin is. This is what you want to see. Like if you are in long here, your trade already becomes swing trade, of course, and you don't panic because you just previous range was retested with the point of control. You remember that rule I was telling you from AMT, when you've got the bullish retest in the VAH and point of control, and you never let the market slip to the downside. This is what you did. You've got the retest, and now this range is no longer not much valid because we already move over it, but we still utilized it as a support. Plus again, you are not accepting back into the 2 weeks range. So market is for me extremely, like not want to say word extremely, but market for me is still bullish if we are doing consolidation above 2 weeks VAH here, yeah, and we hold it. Lose this area and you see what we have next. We have more inefficiency waiting. This is the inefficiency. Yeah, this box. And then you have another inefficiency. Like you didn't leave much support behind. So we will be very careful once market goes into the pullback. So far is all looking really good. And the next resistance for you, if we go beyond these highs, of course we have the impulse liquidity, and we watch, like I have alerts on 10-day point of control and overall high volume node. But again, you need to watch this height. Yeah, potential to do swing failure pattern, then come back into the box, trade it, and do something like this. High volume node and large range. So this one I was explaining you already earlier. Still I will be watching this box. In the future I'm looking for longs, a 2-month val. Why it's back here? This should be val. One thing to be careful with, we have weekend liquidity below this range, so it's possible market will try to fix the lows. We have weak lows here, yeah. So your alerts on the much deeper pullback will be bullish retest of this range in the 2-month val, or fixing equal lows. These are super weak lows. Possible market does better low and then bounces back. That's only for the larger pullback. So far, again, market is looking very strong because it's still holding outside of the 5. It's not 5 weeks VAH is not getting acceptance into it, which would be more bearish sign for you, because you can then chop here for longer if you are just building new value outside of this. So this is a really good sign for the Bitcoin for the higher, right? So again, you see, we don't like, we can predict market like more into the future, but we are more precise on the closer price action. Intraday scalps and medium time frames, I'm very precise. High time frames are more difficult to predict because we don't have all we don't have all data points. Yvwap party. Oh, it's a lot of Yvwaps, I know. I'll be deleting some after video, which we don't need. Like this one, we don't need already. Don't want to do it now. Currently, I'm watching this anchor Yvwap, which is from the kilo on first day, and future retest of this as it's approaching to the price. It's gonna tell us more if we are holding the whole uptrend steadily. And you can also watch this Yvwap, and this already got retest. This is for the uptrend. Yes, this Yvwap was just measuring the impulse uptrend, and for most aggressive uptrends and impulses, you will be holding that anchor Yvwap. And we've got even like front run, a very small front run. So again, market very strong while we hold this most aggressive Yvwap. What else we can check? 1 hour time, 2 hour time frame. You see, we don't use Fibonacci's on local time frames, but on medium to high time frames, they are still good. Yeah, nice reaction. For there, I still have them as a confluence. We have some naked Yvwaps to be closed. We will see which one market picks first to close the inefficiency. We have the new quarter starting now, so let's see how the market is closing the week and then month. So the week close, not a bad week. But I don't watch this as much as like such high time frames. I'm just more focused, like especially not those closes. But let's see. So naked weekly above us. It's gonna be retest. We will get more information. You pretty much need, like from this perspective, you need to reclaim 115,246. Yeah, so you start building new value and closes above it. You want to close above it, so you open road for 120k retest. This is now like market was unable to close above 120k for all the weeks. So do we want to see new all-time highs on Bitcoin just from this perspective? Yes. Then what you want to do? You need to close above this and clear a new high, and then you will do new value and continue higher just from this time frame. On the push down, it's important we held here this like zone. It was really important for us. And let's see now the monthly close. Oh yeah, monthly is still looking decent. Very, very decent. New naked monthly is happening here. Why it's looking decent on monthly? Because we've negated almost 80% or 85% of the negative candle right now. All what we want to see now is push above this candle high and very likely open road for all-time highs. So that's very decent. High time frame value area 7-month VAH. Look at that bullish retest. That was powerful. And like if you combine this with this range in medium time frame, just perfect. So again, for us, you see how important is now 107k from all like AMT regions from local, medium and high time frame. Because if you lose that, you open road for retest of the 104k 7-month point of control, secondary one, and the high volume node. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be careful how much time we spend in this major range. Ultimately, again, if equities get larger pullback, this range will come into play to partial or full rotation. And let's see balance zones, how they are doing. One hour time frame. I need to see it on higher time frame. Yeah, this is still going as expected. Again, 107k range, I mean lost. You will now create new local range in the red box. So we will get 107k down to 101k, same like here. And then it will also do similar pattern and ranges here. Again, we want to pretty much stay above 113k to continue ranging, same like here in this nice box. That's what we want to see. Then 120k, 119 is going to be our another target. Okay, so that's from technical analysis. Now let me show you a few things I have prepared here. We'll be starting talking about, so Ethereum I'm leaving at the end. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about this. By the way, ETFs, look at that. Today is, yeah, that's Tuesday 30. Monday, we had very strong inflows on it, Bitcoin after all week of negative outside. So you see after that option expiry, like a lot of market participants were going in. It's pretty cool to see. From Alpha Squared, Bitcoin is at 48.7, which means Bitcoin is not as cheap as it should be. Like it's not time to like go big time into Bitcoin. It's not cheap, but it's also not like super expensive. Like there is still more room to go to the upside. Yeah, this is pretty much your risk monitor. But historically, we look for Bitcoin. You know, like the best buys on Bitcoin are happening when we have this historical risk monitor very close to risk below 10-20. Yeah, those are the opportunities. Even during Trump, it dropped to very close to 30 actually. Yeah, so it was not even bear market and we dropped so much. So you see very neutral. And for Bitcoin in the future, I'm looking to scale out if I see again very large spikes above 70, 80, 90. All previous cycles we actually went to 100s, yeah, but this time, like in 2021, first top was above 90, but the secondary top was at 82. And these other tops, which were more intermediary tops, were around 66. Yeah, so in the future, I'm not even watching like waiting for 80, 70, or sorry, 80 or 90. But all the two tops, prior tops, were happening when risk was at 65 to 70. That could be Bitcoin at 135 or 140k when you need to scale out. Yeah. Also, everything I say is not financial advice, just education. So that's how I'll be using the risk monitor. We can zoom in 1 year. So you see it better. Yeah, one is very like nice coincidence. Yeah, 66, 66, and it marked the tops both of the times. It's just beautiful. Right now, yeah, we are just in the middle. We are in middle. What I'm doing right now with Bitcoin. So if we are like in middle, I don't talk about trading or just like that. Just about spot market and hodling. I'm not buying Bitcoin at these levels. I was buying Bitcoin last time, like into my long-term spot holdings more here, closer to 100k, and of course during Trump pullback, everybody knows I was posting that in the group. I was doing these heavy DCAs, but here at this value, Bitcoin is too expensive for me. Sure, we can go to 200k later on, but I have enough, and I will be buying only when Bitcoin gets much cheaper. I prepared those spot DCA areas. If you want to see them, why not? Spot. $84. I need to find that post. Do many posts here. Here we are. Here are the zones where I will be adding Bitcoin into when we get larger pullbacks, whenever they comes. Yeah, you are ready into spot market. Definitely not buying Bitcoin right now. It's just it's late second phase of the cycle. So for me, it's not time to. I'm actually distributing my profits on people who are buying late, not buying that. So that's first thing we covered. That's Alpha Square. This is an extremely strong tool for long-term investments. It's not going to make you panic. You will not panic during your investments or hodl entries on SPX and Bitcoin and other altcoins. Yeah, just I made tutorial for this just for the swing trade investors. And small reminder, we do have swing course. So if you have very limited time for your trading, make sure to head into the announcements and read everything what is included in the swing course. Yes, you can watch the educational video, introductory video. You see I have many sections here, and there are like 25 videos in the swing course. Super useful. We are getting really good positive feedback, and Bram in few days is going to add his own videos into the swing course as well, because right now it was mainly me. So that's about the swing course. Let's return. So Alpha Squared is in the tutorial, is there. Let's see what else I've got here. So very small talk about options. So you see I'm slowly incorporating options into my trading. Right now it's not more about day trades, but more about swing, confluence, and for high time frames. Things we can notice. I recommend you watching previous video because I was going more in detail into options. But again, for the past year when Bitcoin was reaching minus 5 or 6 on skew constant maturity, there was like heavy hedging and fear in the market. Each time we found the bottom. So this was bottoming formation. Yeah, lots of hedging, and now you see we are returning back to zero, where we spend like pretty good amount of time. So each time we go below 5 to minus 6, I'm looking for longs on Bitcoin, and it paid out well. You can literally see the timings. Bitcoin was ranging here during Monday, like for a few days, and then Friday and Thursday also we dropped down, but another range, and then we are getting really so very good confluence. This is now not giving much advantage. Bitcoin, like option markets, are returning back into normal mode, less fear in the Bitcoin, which means very likely less pressure on the price. Another thing for option market is to watch. We have two major option expiries for the rest of the year. You can watch the Deribit. Yes, Deribit is the king of options still. And you can see the main open interest is placed on 31st of October. We can go here and check the 31st of October. Here. So open interest is now at 9 billion. You know, on last Friday we had 17 billion option expiry. It was the most largest option expiry I remember since 2021. So this is not as big, so there can be less influence on Bitcoin, but still max pain price is 114,000. So watch for, like, if Bitcoin will be closer to this price few days before expiration, there could be some attempts for market makers to push the price down. So most people will not book their profits on the options. I mean, you can even book profit earlier on option, of course, but you get less money. But many people are just greedy and they are waiting. And two very large option barriers are set at 118,000 and 120k. These two barriers will be very important for the bulls to reclaim for the before this option goes off. Yeah, there could be if price is around these levels, there will be very heavy incentive to Bitcoin to stay above those levels. So there will be battle. There will be battle, and you might see some profit taking as well when you hit them again. Because so watch that option barrier, and then at the end of the year we have 26th of December. This one is larger, 11 billion. Is still growing. We can still have more open interest added. Again, is more skewed on the very heavy. Like this one is not even that important. Why? Because people are betting unrealistic targets, at least I think. 140,000 huge bet, and then 200,000. Wow. This is also showing me it's going to be future area of interest on Bitcoin in case we push to new all-time highs. 140k is gonna be the huge target, and possibly a rejection there. Yes, it's going to act as resistance because so many calls are there. So that's only when we see like massive melt-up on crypto assets to the upside. So just be aware. And this is still far away. So I'll be assessing this option when we come closer to the expiration. So that's about that. And I have a few more slides about options. They are here. This is from Check Onchain. By the way, shout out to the guy. Each week, I think twice or once a week, he's releasing his on-chain analysis. I consider it very, very valuable. So if you have some good budget, I think it costs like $150 a year. You will be getting lots of nice reports from on-chain. It's gonna save your time. It's saving my time. I don't have to do as much research on on-chain with this guy. He is just posting crazy good stuff. Very, very knowledgeable. And he is actually analyzing, like in his latest article, he was showing EBIT options, IBIT. They are the biggest option. Sorry, they own the most Bitcoins in terms of US ETFs, and they are showing us clearly the barriers for the future. And we can see 105k in the future. We have lots of calls and puts there. Is going to be, if we lose 107k, 105k can give us a really good reaction if it's aligning with technical analysis and order flow. So that's for the downside, and for the upside we have the calls. This is more of a resistance. These are people who are now they were calling for higher price. 115,000. We've had the first barrier. Look where price is stopping. Yeah, just temporary, but it's stopping because these option calls, they are trying to book profit very closer to the price, because you can book profit the closer you get, the less you lose. So you see, very close, just $200 from the price, and we are seeing the range. Possibly, I'm watching 115,000 again for the retest today. I just want to show you that in order flow, but we see there is nice interest there. We have two equal highs now, so the option barrier might help us to get us another reaction. So that's what I'm watching. And future resistance, again, we have very large call interest at 124k. Here, that's actually the largest interest we have. So this is in front of all-time high protection. It's gonna give us another swing failure pattern of the all-time high thanks to this option. And then there is another one. I don't see the value, but it's 130k, I think. So this is the option plan. Puts are also aligned with those calls, so that's cool. And this one I can close now. And here is the delta probability counts. This is very useful for you to have realistic expectations from the market. Again, options are extremely powerful. Once I master them properly, I will be just passing you knowledge. But right now we have 80% chance we will end 2025 between 86,000 and up to 158,000. Okay, So very, very interesting expectations. If we see like crazy deviation, either direction, for example, Bitcoin drops closer to 84, 85, 86, then it's gonna be very interesting buying opportunity, because the option market will be very imbalanced. Yes. And either way, if we go beyond 140k or some crazy number, then it's gonna be time to book profits, especially if you see something like this. Yeah, there is 50% chance we will just end about 120k. Yes. So that's also cool. Discounts. Do I have anything about? Yeah, options are pretty much done. Options are done. Then now I have another topic. So we have US government is going to shut down very likely in 1 hour or 2 hours. I would like to show you what happened historically to S&P on the shutdowns. I'm not watching very old history when markets were not so modern, but we can watch just recent ones. Like Trump had 2 shutdowns. One was taking 2 days, and other one was taking 34 days. And you see what happened to S&P 500. There was 7% drop on the 2018 one, 1.5% gain. This was very close one, so markets actually view this very positively. These are like, this was prior week. So before you get to shutdown, markets were falling in 2018. Right now, I think markets were falling a bit, but not as much. So that's why I have this article here on from Adam. He's really great guy as well. In my informational circles, he's on first place, and he pretty much said like, if we get like larger move because of the shutdown, it's not gonna be faded. Like, this is one of the things which works most of the time, the fade of the move. Yeah, so that's what we are watching. Pretty much markets are usually always up after the after it ends or during it. If there will be panic, then we should be buying the dip. Yeah, that's what we want to. That's what I wanted to say. One member asked me if I see. This was just want to address this question. If I see top for Bitcoin done for the crypto market, like, are we heading into bear market or whatever? It's a bit, if someone asks such a question, it's always like asking Saruman's crystal ball. What we need to do is to assess market every single day with the data points which are coming. So because our highest probability of prediction are on small time frames, so for scalps and day trades, and then medium time frame. But high time frame, you don't have all the data. You can have some black or white side events in the economy. You don't know the data points for inflation. You don't know data points for jobs market and many other data points. So it's not that easy to predict further into future. I would say there is now 65% chance, if I need to like put numbers, Bitcoin top is not in. Yeah, 65 to 70%. We still do new all-time high, 130k, 140k. That's how I would rate the chances. And there are some events which can derail the prediction. Like, again, if jobs market is totally crumbling and is gonna signal recession, right? But we've had last week so many data points which are showing very strong economy again. Like, predicted growth for US is now at 4%. So I don't see any recession from those data points. But again, jobs market is crucial to watch, and then inflation. These two aspects can give us the potential high or low. And how I see the markets going into much deeper pullback, I mean like 20% plus what we had on Trump. I think markets will truly crumble on like when we get Fed hiking again, and that can come from very like inflationary spikes, because I think right now they are cutting too aggressively into the not so like super weak jobs market, so they can actually overcut. They will seed the future inflation, and then we will repeat what we had in 2022, and we had 20% pullback on S&P 500. Many big companies dropped a lot. So you see, that's how I see markets going into far larger pullbacks. Then I will be, adjusting my portfolios. Fed is the most powerful entity in the world, and we need to watch what it's doing. It's causing all the volatility in the markets. And we have another thing which is connected to these predictions. Ultimately, seasonality is powerful. And we have this now. So we are entering last quarter of the year for Bitcoin and for other assets. And historically, it tends to be the strongest, time of the year for crypto. Bitcoin did like crazy gains in 2023, 2024. Only in bear markets, it tends to be toppy. In 2022, this was the bear market. We ended positively, so that's good news for us. And in bear market, this tends to go negative, I see. Another thing I want to recommend, this is I'm posting into macro fundamentals sections as well. These guys, Fundsradar, are my favorite Onchain, macro analysts, yes. Past few years, they have highest win rate in Wall Street. You always watch people who have good track record. And their view on the market is we might get pullback in 2026 in global equity. So I think crypto also can get the pullback. Last 100 years, during midterm year, and after very strong performance of the market, because S&P 500 was pushing 20% and more past 2 years, we tend to have pause or deeper pullback in equities, which will take down crypto as well. Yeah. So 2026 can be a year of opportunity for me, and I'm trying to stack extra cash for such a year. Yeah. If I see market melting up in 2026 in the last quarter, same like historical performance is showing us, I will be booking more profits on spot hodl, on Bitcoin, on altcoins, mainly holding Ethereum and Solana. I will be booking some profit on equities, and I will keep that cash and that gunpowder to use in 2026 potential pullback. Yeah. So this is really interesting. One more thing I can show you here in general chat. Historically, S&P 500 is like very overpriced when we are trading above 13 to 15% above 200 DMA. Right now we are at 10%, so we still have more room to go, but I don't think that much like people think, like we will melt up. I think it's possibly late part of the cycle. Maybe we'll see a deviation in the economy where everything is falling, but AI is actually holding up. Like Nvidia, for example, is making most money in the world. So Nvidia maybe will be holding up better. We will see some divergences definitely, but from that perspective, we still have more room to go into the end of the year, even when we get pullback out of the the government shutdown, or at the end of the October, where we might see 5 to 10% pullback on S&P 500, which will also crash crypto into the end of the year, where is historically called Santa Claus rally, when we just move to the upside. Yeah, so just be careful. For me, it's not the time to buy assets right now. We are in the late portion of the cycle. I'm not gonna do that. Just stacking cash for future opportunities. So this is from history. And what else I wanted to show you? So I went over all these. This is good. And the final words will be about, and then I'll do on-chain analysis. Not on-chain analysis, but on order flow, and then we will close the video. One more thing I want to mention. I need to go to here. In our Discord, just join us and find this post from 25 of September. I shared all the 3 articles about possible Bitcoin fork. I want to address this because I think this is gonna cause extra volatility in the market. Let me show you in the history. I already prepared this for you. So we are on here. Here we are. So basically what it means, after many years, I think after a few years, we are getting update on Bitcoin, or like there is heavy update for Bitcoin on Bitcoin Core, which are the main developers on Bitcoin, and they want to add extra space. So ordinals, like I think you can upload 4 megabytes of data into each block. Many market participants and like earlier investors in Bitcoin are very worried this is going to cause extra spam in the blockchain, and maybe miners will be responsible for some malicious content uploaded on blocks. So there is now very big clash between communities. Again, you maybe didn't hear about it, but believe me, this is happening on 30 of October. I think in 1-2 weeks or 3 weeks we will see more about it in the news channels, and this can actually negatively affect price. I don't see how this can positively affect the price. So when the retail will be hearing about this, they will be selling their Bitcoin in the panic. I want to show you what happened to Bitcoin in case we've got the hard fork. It was not positive, believe me, at least short term. There is one website I will be including into the description of the video. And that website I don't have in this Pro browser. Let me check this one. Here. So I'm watching this site, or you can just write it into your, web browser, CoinDance and the nodes. It's showing you how are the nodes distributed on the Bitcoin network. The people who are not agreeing with the current Bitcoin update are called Bitcoin nodes. Again, just read those articles so you understand it. I don't want to explain it into detail. Bitcoin Core is now at 79%. It's nice, majority, but I don't like so many people don't agree with current update for Bitcoin. So, and the fork on Bitcoin is happening when we have 23% of the at the time of update, 23% of people will be on Bitcoin nodes. Then we will get the hard fork. I'm not sure how Bitcoin will be called, like how that fork will be called. Maybe it's gonna be called Bitcoin nodes. It's up to them how will they name it. It's gonna be negative for Bitcoin when you get that for hard fork, because it's showing you good chunk. This is 1/4 of the all market of the all miners and people who have the nodes are not agreeing with the update of the Bitcoin. Is also negative for price, at least short term, because it's diluting Bitcoin, because we will get the chain. Look at that now. So like on CoinMarketCap, we can see Bitcoin Cash. This is the, let me show you here, Bitcoin Cash. Where was Bitcoin Cash happening? All right, here in the bull market. This is hard fork. This is most successful fork of Bitcoin in August 2017. And still up to this date is holding the 17th place, and is with the 11 billion market cap. This market cap could have been in Bitcoin directly, so it's eating just small portion of the Bitcoin, but it's still, when that happened, it was pretty successful fork, but that day Bitcoin was reacting negatively. Yeah, you see we went down 6% at least. Let me hide this so I see the full candle. Yeah, 10% move to the downside. Right now Bitcoin is more stable, yeah, but it was negative when that happened on that day. So maybe on the day the fork happens, if it happens, it's gonna be negative for Bitcoin. I will do some nice shorts, but you can see the impact was limited, like few days of impact, and then the people just stick to the core chain and they don't care anymore. Here are the other forks. We can see Bitcoin SV was also a fork, but this was happening in bear market, so of course reaction to the downside. Bitcoin Gold, this one also negative for the Bitcoin, and others. This is very early era. Not even sure if I want to watch this, but you can see positive, the Bitcoin Classic. This one was negative, and this one was also negative, and the candle is looking small, but in percentual terms this was heavy drop. Just measure the body of the candle. Yeah, 2% at least. So you see, most of the time the fork was negative for Bitcoin. It's gonna show us the community is fragmented. I personally, I don't want to, I'm not I cannot make opinion because I'm not nodes holder for Bitcoin, and I'm not so technical in Bitcoin mining and opinion. I would say just this can make Bitcoin vulnerable for the future, because people can upload anything there. and this can damage some miners. So there will need to be very good laws, so you have no problem if someone is uploading some bullshit on the chain when that space is made like much larger than it is now. And on second, like, there is also positive side. Miners will be making more money because ordinals were actually pushing in 2023 when the ordinals were happening. They made 10 million a day or something like that. So it's gonna cause the chain to be stronger potentially because there will be more money for the miners. So there will be more incentive to mine Bitcoin and make the network more stable. So there's also positive for that. I think in few days after the fork, the world will forget, but we might get the negative pressure prior to the fork and after the fork. And one of the reasons why I think Bitcoin is weaker is because of that update in 30th of October. I would say Bitcoin would be higher without that update. It's eating away premium from Bitcoin. People and markets hate uncertainty, and this is adding uncertainty to the market. What if some crazy miners switch to Bitcoin nodes and this is like forks can actually kill the Bitcoin, sadly. Not kill, but certainly massive damage can happen to the forks. What if we get closer to the fork and you start to see nodes having 40% of the network or 50% at the time of the fork? Then which chain you will be considering Bitcoin after fork? If you get 50% fork, Bitcoin Core or nodes, who is right? This is like the biggest danger for Bitcoins is not quantum, is forks. They are extremely dangerous. So I think this is why Bitcoin would be about 120k without this update coming for Bitcoin, in my opinion. I just know how risk is working, and you don't want to hold too much risk. There is uncertainty. The best case scenario for Bitcoin right now would be at the time of the update, this is gonna stay below 23%, so we don't get any hard fork. Ideally, we don't want to see any hard fork. Then it's gonna be upside, very likely returning to Bitcoin. Premium is gonna increase. So I'm definitely watching that. Keep an eye on it. I'm telling you that very early before you will see that in retail articles. I already saw a few, but it's still no panic. So yep, that's pressuring factor on Bitcoin, and it's gonna be resolved soon. Okay, so we can close this. Just wanted to show you that. Now we can move on Onchain, and then I will mention Ethereum a bit, and that's going to be it. One more I can check is I'm specifically using this just for the high time frame. I just want to show you the Yvwap standard deviation bands. You can see right now there is a big battle to get acceptance back into the pink band. Bitcoin, when it's trading above, like when it's in really good bull markets, is gonna trade in the pink band because the pink bands are actually creating you higher time frame highs, potentially all-time highs. Look at the 2024. We spend majority of time when Bitcoin is ranging, is gonna spend most of the time in the yellow area, chopping around yearly Yvwap and standard deviation 1, positive and negative. This was very cool range to trade. And then when you really want to spring and make new all-time highs, you will get into the pink area, start pushing, and you will even push into the standard deviation 3 area. But statistically, you will not spend more than 5% of time outside of the standard deviation 3 band, because this is heavily overbought condition. You can ride it, but you will not spend much time there. The people will be taking profit. You see, this year was much better. We were riding the standard deviation 3. People bought the lows with the Trump. We rotated very quickly the yellow area. Look at the reclaim of the yearly Yvwap. Yearly Yvwap is like very crucial confluence for us for swing trades as well, like for long-term, not like long-term exposures. And yeah, that was beautiful reclaim. Right now, this big battle to get return back to pink area. And then I think we will do. If you start reclaiming here, you will then focus on this topper range, but you can actually return to this higher range, and then potentially do an all-time high. So crucial area. And for me, to the downside, we have support at 103,000 right now. So you see 105k defended with the options and 103k naked anchor Yvwap. From yearly is naked since May, so he's naked most of the year actually, good few months. So we will watch how we react here. And if you lose this is going to be pretty concerning for you, because then you will aim for this low and start creating new range here. For our order blocks, don't want to go over them. So seasonality I was already showing you. This is more focused on monthly. See, last September we are pushing up. This September we are also pushing up, but we are giving up the gains. Let's see how the October is looking like. You see, like past few, this one was sideways, but in the current bull market we were pushing nicely in the October on Bitcoin and crypto overall here as well. Very nice uptrend. So we will see if that seasonality repeats. Quarter now, so quarter 4 is starting. That's what I was showing you in coin glass. Yeah, this is now visually look at that. The Bitcoin biggest gains are usually made in quarter 4 again, quarter 4 again. It's same with the equities as well. In bear markets, of course not. This was 2021 when the Fed started. You see how we went into the bear market because Fed started hiking the rates again. So again, future bear market in crypto and equities will definitely Fed will be main contributing factor with hiking rates. You see, even in 2021, at the end of the bull market, we are still pushing in October. So October is very interesting month. And if we see like massive move to the upsides, I will be taking profit at the end of the quarter 4 or in the middle. Here is the historical seasonality. Historical seasonality. This is a visual representation of what I was showing you in like monthly seasonality, like quarterly seasonality. Just the one line. We can see the consolidation here, and right now market should start moving to the upside. If we zoom in, just based on historical preference. December top, and this is calculating last 15 years. Yeah, so very interesting data point as well. How are the moving averages looking? I don't use them on daily basis, only on swings. 200-day moving average is still at 105k. This is like a very immediate support for us. And ultimately bull market support is still now at, where are you? 53,000, but we need to watch that not on Bybit, but we need to watch this on much longer data points, and then we switch to Bitstamp. Okay, it's still pretty close, yeah. 53,000, yeah. This is ultimate support for you for the for like around these areas. I will be buying Bitcoin again very heavily in the future bear market. Hopefully we don't get it soon, but around this area I will combine this with multi-on-chain analysis. I will combine this with alpha squared. It's definitely not a chance I will miss the buying very close to the bottoms. Yes, I'm like here. Even if we lost it here briefly, it was still acting as a big support. Even in Corona drop, yeah, look here. Bear market held. This is, you just played it by the statistic. Each time it was very strong support. After the reclaim, we started the bull market, so they are important. Let's do now on-chain analysis. On-chain order-flow analysis. So many words. How long is the video? This is going to be maybe my longest video, but I just wanted to cover so many topics. On-chain analysis, and we are done. Mainly with TRDR. order books. So beautiful bands played out, and our longs as well. Like right now we've seen first sell bands, that's why we went into the first pullback, and like the pressure is continuously increasing. We will need lots of buy side to continue higher, but there is still, I think, room to go. If we start to go, if we fail with 115k rejection and swing failure pattern out back into this range, so we actually trade this range for longer, I think we were talking about taking out people from these impulse as well. So we will very likely move into 116 and potentially even to these highs. Yeah, so with this template, but there will be pressure in all the books. So if we range, I will just trade the range because the chances for range starts to increase. We already discussed this one earlier. Short liquidations are coming in. I would like to see for very good top, like for strongest top to get us for medium time frame high, I would like to see liquidation thresholds like here, like this high, yeah, where we damaged lots of people already, but I want to see even larger damage of the people, same like here, and then we move to the downside. We're watching for that. Why is open interest lagging here? Is this a joke? No. Not sure why we have a gap, but I will find out later. But nice to see open interest was steadily increasing into the upside. Yeah, there was some profit taking. Now we see the pressure, but the pressure thresholds are not so high yet. There could be like much larger pressure. Same like here. This was better topping formations. So like the highest probability short when market continues pushing will be when we get stronger thresholds like here. Yeah, very heavy sell side on spot market. You can even notice even when we return back to highs, the spot market pressure is getting neutral to negative. It's showing you people are canceling sell walls on spot market, or they are adding new spot buying walls below us. So yeah, this is interesting development. Like there is much less pressure at the highs right now than when we are topping out. Perpetual pressure is increasing. We will see that exactly with the walls. Yeah. So I think on higher time frame we are still trading this box. This is now very strong order flow resistance with the 118 to 120k, lots of spot sell side, and we still have very large support. So ultimately we will trade this big box on Bitcoin, and the best swing trades, if you want, like swing trades, will be happening from boundaries of this box. Swing long going really well, but it's as you get the pressure bands, it was time to take profit too on that swing, and you only keep like last 40%, 30% running, because yeah, you still have these massive distribution bands as well. So for Bitcoin it's not easy to push above 120k, especially if you get a formation like this. Like everybody wants to just dump on you with the limits orders. We'll need very large God candle to breach all those walls, or just very sustained uptrend. That was beautiful rotation here. You can notice when the sell side was increasing here and then we went down, and then they canceled the order. You can see why we are stopping at the same area, because these people, they can be still entering with the market orders. That's one of the things. And you can even see we had some sell pressure walls up there. So the very likely same entity was just stopping market down, they're taking profit. 117 cancels was very big order. Interesting. This is spot market by the no, this is not. This is perpetuals, sorry. So it's perpetuals, so leverage, and how is spot market looking? Yeah, spot market is still bidding. So on any larger pullbacks to the downside, I'm still looking for very large, for very decent longs out of this area. 108,000 down to 105, very wide area, but we have lots of confluence in these regions. And spot market, you see we have lots of distribution walls. So you see, I don't think it's gonna be easy for Bitcoin to push higher. And if it wants to push higher, it's gonna need like very high volumes on spot market. But look how many sell side we have, like very like distributed. I can refresh Okotoki and we will see those people there. Yeah, it's like not very large quantities. The main sell side on spot market is waiting now at 100, above 118,000 in case we see larger push on Q4 inflows. Just remember that. This is your main like resistance for the rest of the week in case we continue pushing, yeah, in this zone. And look at that, perpetuals, Binance perpetuals on Tether pair and also USDC are also selling very heavily at 119,500. I think there will be super easy scalp out of the such confluence. They are protecting the 120k barrier, heavy protection. So in the future, definitely area of interest. Oh, look at the buy side, pretty empty. Like sell side is more thick. That's why you are having imbalance in the order book depth. There is some defense at 111,000, not bad, but overall pretty empty. And 108k getting defended. So you see that larger box I was talking about, you can see now visually, like in direct orders. So even if we get uptrend, it's gonna be maybe slower sustained with multiple, like what we had here, yeah, like uptrend, and we are ranging. We can push, then we are ranging for 1, 2 days, 3 days, continue, possible like that. But I'm focusing on trading this range first. What are whales trying to do? Whales lurking at 120, 119, 600. Yes, this is the area of interest. They are also putting orders here. This is more like short term. I need to return from Deribit to Binance. And they're like for today, for the rest of the session and for the rest of the day, I'm watching 115,000 to fix these equal highs for swing failure pattern. We know it's still option barrier, so there could be some profit taking. So I'm watching that. And on the downside, look at the heavy protection of 112, 600. We have, when I go to Exocharts, today was not ideal session to trade because you failed to grab some sessions liquidity. If I zoom out, you can notice why it's dismerged. It shouldn't be. Maybe some data are missing. Let's go for Binance. Yes, this is the correct view. I don't know what was happening there, and I need to change it to 5 minutes so to see it better. So today was easy. You just went for the pullback. I had like take profits here. We were feeling the inefficiency, but you see what happened. So London session has pretty weak low. New York session didn't even manage to take out London session low. So you have very nice liquidity here and here below this low. You have still some of the inefficiency to be filled down there. And you have these big orders here. So I think these people are playing fixing of those two lows for swing failure pattern, for absorptions. Ideally, you trap some nice new shorts and then you push higher. So this setup will be valid for rest of the day while these traders are pushing their orders there. Yeah, so this is valid setup. I have alerts there. So I have alerts at like today and 115k and then here. And if you want to see deep pullback, again, this low needs to be lost and then you will start feeling very likely single prints. This is still a continuation candle here. So there could be battle and you can actually hold this low for this swing failure pattern. Let me show you what is continuation candle. as the final thing. Then we move to Ethereum and that's it. We need to go to this. And let me show you footprints. I made lots of tutorials like this, very clean. And here is the continuation candle. You can read about it, yeah? When you are in uptrends, because 80% of time we are ranging, but if you are in uptrends or downtrends, you are watching these high volume candles, which are like holding a trend structure. And usually you have large options there. It's high volume node, and market is flipping it into support for the continuation in the trend. And such candle, so like if you want to lose and go for deeper pullback, you would still need to lose this this candle. You can even notice how market pushed to the upside and it made this support. We still have 113,000 in this region. We still have two large buying nodes, so this can help future stabilization. If you fail to hold 113,000, you will then open road to fill inefficiency down here. Yeah, so that's how you go level by level. So that's it about Bitcoin. And final words about Ethereum. I'm trading currently. It's very interesting. It's very interesting trading for me because I'm trading Bitcoin and Ethereum together. I have alerts on Ethereum. I'm mainly focusing on EPAs, but you see like here, yeah, like look at the good short. This was EPA short on Ethereum. We took many highs. Massive volume spike absorptions, all visible in Exocharts. Very good invalidation, strong high put in, like very large wick. And this trade made me like 4% yesterday. So I'm trading together because I want more returns. Bitcoin is more for day trading. Ethereum is better for scalping, but also for day trades. I also made this more advanced post showing people. I just want to tell you that small tip in Ethereum. Notice on Ethereum we had very large interest in orders. Each cluster you see since 28th of September actually gave you at least range or a very nice trade. If you were like shorting with these walls, massive absorptions were happening here, market getting exhausted. Same here, nice pullback. Another one, this was more cheeky because if we zoom in, we see these walls were actually pulled before price went there. Maybe the entity was getting scared or it was not sure if he wants to get filled, but still the volume spike was insane. But then we still were continuing high, continuing in the range. It's very possible that entity was just market selling in the market, right? Then we've got the strong high, I shorted, and then we went for the massive pullback. Look at the pullback, beautiful. And same thing happened here. Huge buy orders. Some of them, I think only some of them were getting filled. Sorry for the yellow. Yes, they were getting filled actually. Here, huge fills. Huge fills, and I think they left many unfilled orders there, and they very likely went with the market order and bull CVD was happening here. And ultimately, if you just zoom out, look at the box. Like the box provided stability and literally held the market. So each time if you went with these whales, your trade was a winner. Even if the walls are getting cancelled, it doesn't mean it's not gonna hold the area, because these people can't go with the market orders. That's what I'm trying to say. So make sure to trade Ethereum. Highly great asset, 2-3 times larger than Bitcoin. Maybe I can mention you what is Ethereum trying to do, and that's it for this video. Zooming out, basically on Ethereum I gave two scenarios and both of them happened. When we lost this low, I gave our traders a prediction with the blue scenario. We will find lows right at the 3 weeks VWAP, a key market structure retest. This was bullish retest for Ethereum, same like Bitcoin did. So I was expecting same from Ethereum. From the previous range it found support, and we never activated the red scenario where in the future I am having alerts here at 3643 point of control high volume node, and in this area as well. Like this whole box is the future support for Ethereum in case we go for larger pullback. You can note this, and now we completed the yellow scenario as well, where I predicted we will go for this high and do swing failure pattern from it, and then move to the downside for the pullback. Even pullback I nailed pretty good. So the short was pre-planned. It was not even like it was taken with the order flow, but it was pre-planned for a few days already. I was also longing here Ethereum. So you see I'm long on a swing account. I was taking to take profits. I'm still having 35% exposure for more upside. And I also did intraday short. I took 4%, moved to the downside with leverage. It was like 8% or more. And you could be also long here with the order books box. What is Ethereum trying to do? It's gonna follow Bitcoin and equities, of course, but you see this market structure is still holding us. But for Ethereum, it's extremely crucial to reclimb back into 8 weeks range. This was 8 weeks of ranging. Massive institutions were buying here. It's gonna be more like very strong sign when you get reclimb back here. And we still be facing with the resistance right here. 2 weeks high volume node and 2 weeks point of control. So you watch for reaction. It needs to be really good reaction from order flow. But one downside of it, this whole move down was done on the inefficiency. So ultimately, if you don't see market stopping here, you will be feeling the whole inefficiency, low volume node, just one-way traffic move down. And then we will find maybe new short at this high or at the 8 week swag. So this is what I'm watching on Ethereum. Let's hide everything. By the way, these market structures are crazy. Held precisely. And you can even watch this in the future. Too good. Key levels. Like so many key levels were getting retested back on that pullback, yes, where we bottomed out from 4 hour time frame. All the key levels were from all the previous highs. Yeah, even like this one is super old. But it's pretty crucial to actually trade above this again. On the first retest, this was the easiest long. But then, even if you lost it, you still retested bullishly the key naked level, yeah, and key medium time frame naked level. This whole box was absolutely crucial to hold for us on Ethereum, because then if lost, you would be rotating very likely the previous range. I mean, Ethereum is crazy technical right now. It's more technical than Bitcoin in some cases because it trades higher volume than Bitcoin on some days. Yeah, so that's what we are. And we've got the front run of that Yvwap. Very cheeky. But the front run happened. Many people missed the Ethereum boat, so they were watching this anchor Yvwap from pre-Trump pump and got front run. And if we see future pullback on Ethereum, like more serious one, we have swing area here, which is gonna be retesting double range, double AMT support, and it's gonna retest the previous range low at 3,400. This is extremely good area for Ethereum in the future, yeah, so make sure to have alerts there. Okay guys, this is very long video, maybe the longest video of like record video for me. I hope it was useful. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in our trading group. Definitely join us and trade with us and educate with us. Have a pleasant rest of the week, traders. Bye.